The world of AI is moving so fast, it's insane. So how do you actually stay ahead of the curve? What skills are really going to matter in, say, 2026? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. We're focusing on the core abilities that will give you a serious edge.
So, what are these skills that'll give you an edge? Look, it's not about chasing every shiny new tool that pops up. That's a losing game. The real secret is mastering a handful of fundamental concepts. Think of them like a master key that unlocks the power of everything else.
And you're going to want to stick around for this, because there is one massive trend transforming AI that honestly, almost nobody is talking about. It's a huge shift that is completely reshaping the game, and we're going to get right into it.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with the absolute foundation, mastering prompting. Then we'll build out your essential AI toolkit. After that, things get really interesting. We'll level up to building AI agents. Then we'll dive into that big shift I mentioned, open source. And finally, we'll look at this wild new idea called vibe coding that's letting basically anyone build software. All right, let's get into it. First up, prompting. We're starting here because, honestly, it's the single most important skill. If you get this right, you unlock the full potential of literally every AI tool you touch.
I love this analogy because it just hits the nail on the head. You can have the fanciest, most powerful AI in the world, but if you don't know how to talk to it, it's useless. It's like having this incredible sword, but you have no idea how to swing it. Your prompt, that's you swinging the sword.
And here's the really good news. You do not need to be some kind of prompt engineering genius. Seriously, there are just two simple frameworks that, if you master them, will make you better than like 98% of people at this. You'll be able to get exactly what you want from any AI every time. So here they are. The first one is TCWEI. Doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, I know, but it's super logical. You give it the task, provide context, tell it how to write, and then you evaluate and iterate. Easy. The other one is RSTI. This one's awesome for more creative stuff. You give the AI a role, lay out the steps, set the tone, and tell it how you want it to interact. That's it.
Okay, so once you know how to swing the sword, you need the right tools in your belt, right? That brings us to your essential AI toolkit.
So, you should think about your toolkit in four main categories. First, you need a good generalized AI chatbot, for all your basic questions, writing help, that kind of thing. Second, you need a solid research and news tool, something to keep you on top of things. Third, an AI-powered learning tool. This is huge for getting up to speed on new topics super fast. And finally, an execution tool, something that actually does things for you, like making slides or apps or dashboards.
Now I know what you're thinking. That sounds like a lot of tools. But here's the great part. You don't need to go subscribe to a dozen different apps. The best chatbots out there today are so powerful they can pretty much do all of this for you. The key is to just pick one and get really, really good at it.
All right, so far we've talked about using AI. Now let's talk about building with it. This is a big shift in mindset, from just being a user to becoming a creator. And trust me, this is where the real magic happens.
And that brings us to the next level, AI agents. This is where we go way beyond just asking a question and getting an answer. We're talking about building systems that can work on their own to solve really complex problems for you or your company.
So what exactly is an AI agent? Well, think of it like this. You give it a goal, and it just goes to work. It uses its AI brain to come up with a plan, then it connects to other tools it needs, like your email or a database, to actually get the job done. It's like having a super smart assistant you can delegate big, complicated tasks.
And these aren't just toys. The real-world value is huge. Imagine a product retention agent. When someone tries to cancel their subscription, instead of a boring generic pop-up, this agent figures out why they're leaving and sends them a custom email with a perfect offer to stay. Or think about a reporting agent that can automatically pull data from all over the company and create investor reports. We're talking about saving hundreds, maybe thousands of hours.
So, the key takeaway here is pretty simple. Learning how to build these agents is the skill you want. And the best part is, there are tools for everyone, whether you're a total beginner using a no-code platform or a pro developer. This skill is absolutely in demand right now. Okay, remember that surprising trend I mentioned at the very beginning? Well, it's time to talk about it. This is a huge, seismic shift that's changing everything in AI, and it all boils down to one thing: open source.
So for a while now, the whole AI scene has been run by these big, closed-source models, like ChatGPT or Claude. They're basically black boxes controlled by one company. You use them, but you don't really know what's inside. Open source is the complete opposite. All the core parts are out in the open for anyone to see, use, modify. You can run them anywhere you want.
Now, for a long time, the closed models were just flat out better. But that's not true anymore. The open source models have caught up, and now their advantages are just too big to ignore. They're way cheaper, especially at scale. You have total control. You can customize them however you want, and you're not locked in to some company's platform. For regulated industries like finance, that transparency is a must-have.
And this is the shocker, the part nobody saw coming. We've all gotten used to the idea that the US leads in AI, but this new wave of top-tier, game-changing open-source models, they're almost all coming from China.
And look, this isn't just some small thing on the fringes. A16Z, one of the biggest VC firms in the world, said that a whopping 80% of the AI startups pitching them are building their products on these Chinese open-source models. That's not a trend, that's a fundamental shift in how AI is being built. So this whole open-source revolution leads us right to our final skill, and maybe the most powerful one of all. Because these tools are now so available to everyone, it's created an entirely new way to build things.
It's this thing called vibe coding. And yeah, it sounds a little funny, but it's this wild new reality where you can build a real working app just by describing it in plain English. You can literally just tell an AI, hey, build me a simple web page that collects emails for a newsletter, and poof, it generates the code for you. The barrier to actually creating things has just been obliterated.
And this isn't just for one type of person. There are tools all across the spectrum. Whether you have never written a line of code in your life or you're a pro developer who just wants to work 10 times faster, there's a tool out there for you.
So think about where we've been. We started with prompting, built our toolkit, leveled up to building agents, and saw how the open source shift is powering all of it. It all leads to this one final, really powerful question. For the first time ever, building something amazing isn't limited by your coding skills. It's only limited by your ideas. So, the question is, now that anyone can build, what will you create?